Oh, what's up? Welcome to another segment of Ref Me Up. And today we have next generation officiating that's going over our official football signals. All right. So it's going to be a good one. Stay tuned.
What's up, everybody? We're going to learn a little bit about officiating signals today. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through the rule book, and for each signal, I'll give you a brief explanation, and then I'll demonstrate the signal as well. So we're starting with signal number one. It's ready for play. You use this signal when you're blowing the ball in, ready for play. This could be after a penalty, after a timeout. It's pretty simple. You're gonna hold your hand up. It could be your right or your left, doesn't matter. And as you pull your hand down, you're gonna blow the whistle, ready for play. So it'll go tweet. Or if you're in this position, tweet. And you can do it with your left hand or your right hand. Some people have some different variations of it, but simply put, that's the way that it goes. Signal number two, start the clock. This is gonna be when the clock should be running. Again, that's pretty simple. Your hand's gonna be here. I just kind of have my hand here, and you're going up and around, up and around. I would not caution you to go backwards, but you're gonna go up and around this way. You're going to use those basically to start the clock after a penalty or when the clock's out of bounds and you bring the clock back in bounds. Number three, conversely, is going to be to stop the clock. You're going to use this on, maybe you have a penalty at the end of a play. Maybe you have something else that happens to kill the clock. As an official, you're just going to have your hands here. You're going to bring your hands to the top. You're going to bring them back down. And you're going to do this a couple times just to kill the clock. I would always say start here, but anytime you're going to start from the bottom. You're just going to go here. Pretty simple signal. Something that you actually want to kind of get through, and hopefully you'll be able to pick these up relatively quickly. A TV radio timeout, number 4. What we're going to do here is this is pretty simple. Again, you're going to give typically you're going to give 3 timeout wipes, which was signal number 3. So you'll do here. And at the very last, after that third one, you'll punch out. And this is when TV and radio will go to media. When they do that punch, that is basically us letting the media partner know that it's time to go to commercial, and it starts the timer then. Typically those commercial breaks may be 3 minutes, 4 minutes, depends. But just know that when that referee punches out like that, that's what starts that time. Signal number 5, touchdown, field goal. Pretty easy, everybody knows it. It's straight up in the air here, and you're holding. Signal number 6, safety. This is when 2 points are scored, basically because the ball is scored by the defense in the offense's end zone. That signal, again, is pretty simple as well. It's just 2 hands over the head, and you're going to hold it like this, and that's the safety signal. Signal number 7, it's a dead ball foul or a touchback. The touchback signal is going to be over your head here, 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 here. Dead ball signal is just your hand in the air over your head. The dead ball signal is going to be used basically when a line of scrimmage official has the ball dead, or maybe a quarterback is sacked and the referee is right there. He's just going to come in, hey, the ball's dead here. Signal number 8, first down signal. This is also the one that we like. First down signal is going to be here. And you're going to point your finger. You can do this. Some people do chop. Some people do one finger. Either way you do it, as long as you have your fingers pointing this way, that's a first down signal. Signal number 9, loss of down. This is when you have a penalty that carries a loss of down. An example of a penalty that carries a loss of down is going to be an intentional grounding. We'll show that signal later, but the loss of down signal is going to be here, 2 hands behind your head. You're going to make that announcement and that signal during the penalty enforcement, or during the announcement of the penalty enforcement that you're going to have for that loss of down penalty. Signal number 10, incomplete pass, an unsuccessful try, a field goal or penalty is declined, or a coin toss option is deferred. It is simply just an incomplete pass, and you're here. Typically, you'll see that when a penalty is declined, like it said, an incomplete pass, or if someone on a coin toss wants to defer their option to the second half. Signal 11, you'll see this. It's called legal touching. If you see a ball that is batted or tipped, typically you'll see the umpire or the referee do this signal, and that's letting you know that the ball has legally been tipped in the air. Signal number 12, it's an inadvertent whistle. This is a very rare one, but this is when an official inadvertently blows their whistle and kills the play. And it's simply your hand in front of you and with your fingers, with your thumb over your pointer finger. So it's just here in front of you. Signal number 13, to disregard the flag. We got a flag here. It's pretty simple. You're going to wave it over your head like this. That's basically the official's way or the referee's way of saying that to disregard the flag, there's no foul on the play for whatever he had the foul down for. Signal number 14, end of period. At the end of the period, the referee will make an announcement. He doesn't have to have the football in his hand, but he'll just hold his hand up and he'll say, that's the end of the first quarter, or that's the end of the first half. They'll even say, that's the end of the game. Signal number 15, sideline warning. This is one that's used when you may run into you don't have to run into a coach. If you run into a coach, it's going to be sideline interference. But if you have an issue trying to get around coaches on the sideline or players on the sideline, it's easy to go to the referee and say, hey, sideline warning. And it's basically that your hands are going backward and forward. Signal 16, illegal touching. Illegally touching the ball, you say, for example, on a punt play. If the kicking team touches the ball prior to the return team or team B in the situation, this is going to be the illegal touching signal that is going to be used. Signal 17, you have an uncatchable pass. If you deem or the official on the field deems that the pass is uncatchable, the signal is going to go just like this over the head. Basically, he's saying that the ball was uncatchable. Signal number 18, offside on A or B or offside on a kickoff. Offside is pretty simple. Your hand is going to be at your waist, and you just say offside. Offense, offside, defense. Team A or Team B can be offside on a kickoff. Signal 19, false start or encroachment, Team A, or an illegal formation. You're simply going to roll your fist or roll your wrist. Typically on an announcement, you may want to do it 2 or 3 times. False start. Signal 20, we have illegal motion and we have illegal shift. In order to signal illegal motion, you're going to use one hand, and it is illegal motion. Illegal shift is going to be 2 hands. And illegal motion is going to be when someone is possibly moving towards the line of scrimmage at the snap. And illegal shift is going to be basically 2 people moving at the same time prior to the snap without being set. Delay of game. As you know, both the team A has the length of time that they have to get to snap the ball. Delay of game penalty is just going to be just like this, with your hands in front, with your arms over each other. So that's the delay of game penalty. Signal 22, substitution infraction. This is when one of the team tries to play with too many players. Substitution infraction is simply your hand basically over your heart. Some people do the fist over your heart. Either way, it does not really matter, but that is the substitution infraction. Signal 23. This is an equipment violation. Equipment violation would be, for example, if you have 2 people wearing the exact same number on a play, or maybe their not their helmet came off, but they have a face mask loose. There's some rule, or maybe they have cleats that are too long. There is some rule that is being broken due to an equipment violation for that player. But the equipment violation signals is simply your one hand behind the head. Signal 24, targeting. Targeting can look at a lot of different ways. A lot of people like to say head-to-head contact, but that is absolutely not what it is. It is leading with the crown of the helmet, or it is making contact above the head or shoulder area of a defenseless player. The targeting signal is simply a fist to the head. Horse collar tackle. Signal 25. A horse collar tackle is when you put your hand inside of the collar of an offensive player and you pull him to the ground, and he must have come to the ground immediately during this foul. It may be in the back of the nameplate. It could be in the side, but it has to be an immediate takedown. Horse collar signal is simply here, and you'll extend your shirt out. But don't put your hand in there, but I probably just do something along the lines of horse collar tackle defense. Hands to the face, signal number 26. Any prolonged contact to the helmet face of an offensive or defensive player is a 15-yard penalty. This is the 15-yard penalty, hands to the face penalty here. Signal 27, unsportsmanlike conduct. You'll have to look in the rule book just to see what types of fouls fall under the unsportsmanlike conduct, but that's pretty simple. It is unsportsmanlike conduct, and the arms are out to the side. There's no waving. They are strictly out. Unsportsmanlike conduct, offense. Unsportsmanlike conduct, defense. Illegal blindside block. A foul where the offensive or defensive player, typically these happen during change of possession plays, but if there is a foul where basically the defender or the return team player doesn't see the blocker coming towards him, so blindside block, that penalty is simply you're bumping your two fists together, illegal blindside block. Signal 29, sideline interference. We mentioned earlier about sideline warning. For sideline interference, what you're going to do is you're going to basically take your hands and you're going to put your hands behind your back while you're facing the press box, and you'll make the announcement. Sideline interference, and you'll name the team that you have the sideline interference on. Running into the kicker or roughing the kicker. With running into the kicker, it's a 5-yard penalty. With roughing the kicker, it's a 15-yard penalty. Typically with roughing, we're talking about plant leg, some kind of plant leg or some kind of force into the body of the kicker. That is running into the kicker is just a kick, running to the kicker. That's a 5-yard penalty. If it's going to be roughing the kicker, it's going to be a personal foul and then roughing the kicker. It's going to be the same signal, but you'll add the personal foul for the roughing the passer or for the roughing the kicker portion of it. Signal 31, illegal batting or illegal kicking. For illegal kicking, you're going to follow with a point towards the foot. But if someone bats the ball, like just bats the ball, then that's going to be an illegal bat. If they kick the ball, it's going to be here, and then you're going to point down to your foot for them illegally kicking the ball. Signal 32, illegal fair catch signal. It's simply this. If they do, I mean, it's almost like, you're just putting your hand here and just you have it out to the side. I've never made that signal, but I'm kind of looking forward to it. Signal 33, kick catch interference or pass interference. I know a lot of us see this. It's pass interference, defense. Kick catch interference, kicking team. Roughing the passer, signal number 34. Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense, number 32. You hear me say these penalties, you'll see that there's a pretty quick announcement that comes along with it. The more you practice these penalties and the more you know what they're there for, the quicker they come to mind and the quicker they come to memory. Signal 35, illegal pass or illegal forward handing. Again, you're going to take one hand, you're going to put it behind your back, and you're going to make the announcement. Illegal pass or illegal forward handing. This is if you have maybe two passes in a sequence, or if someone hands the ball forward beyond the line of scrimmage. Signal 36, intentional grounding. This is when the quarterback tries to get rid of the ball and there's no receiver in the area or he's not outside the pocket. There are certain rules, obviously, that apply to intentional grounding that have to apply for this situation, but the signal is basically here and to the ground. Signal 37, ineligible receiver downfield. This is when a receiver who lined up as an ineligible player, ineligible receiver, lined up in a position or maybe by number, and then he released more than 3 yards downfield. The signal for this is simply here, and then you'll point to the offending team. So ineligible player downfield, offense number 38. Signal number 38, personal foul. There's so many things that can fall into a personal foul category. Signal is here. Note that when you do a lot of these signals, you're doing them, you want to keep them away from your face area so you can keep the look that you have to the crowd or maybe the TV audience but you want to keep these down. So that's why I do personal foul, and you keep this down here. Signal 39, clipping. Again, this is another personal foul. So you'll put the personal foul on top of it. So you'll go personal foul, and then you'll do clipping. And you'll basically take you're basically taking your hand, and it's below the waist, right below the waist area to your thigh of your leg. Signal 40, an illegal block below the waist. There are certain times within a game or within a play where players are eligible or able to block low. And if that is not one of those times, again, this is another personal foul. You are personal foul, illegal block below the waist. And it's just here to the front, and you're just hitting right above your knees. Signal 41, same thing, chop block. There are blocks that are allowed, whether they be high or low, and some sort of combination of them, or whether or not they're high or they're legal or not legal. For a chop block, is going to be personal foul, chop block, and you're basically just taking your hands or your fists and you're putting them right here at your waist. Signal 42, holding, obstruction, legal use of hands or arms. It's simply here to the side, it's holding, offense, or holding, defense. Signal 43, an illegal block in the back. If you are blocking someone, it is obviously illegal to block them in the back. That signal is here and here. So illegal block in the back. Signal 44, helping the runner, or an interlocked interference. This is rarely called, but helping the runner is basically aiding the runner. The signal for aiding the runner is this, where you just got your hands out front and you just have them here. Another very, very rare foul that you would see called. Signal 45, grasping of the face mask or helmet opening. This is also a personal foul. You'll do personal foul, face mask. It's tough to keep that one out of your face, but you want to maybe keep that one a little lower. So you'll just go personal foul, face mask, defense, or offense, whoever is the offending team. Signal 46, tripping. Another personal foul signal, kind of a little tough to see maybe here, but you're going to go personal foul, and your back foot should cross over, and it'll go tripping. So it's a little tough to see from behind here, but your left, just say your right foot should go behind your left foot, and it's an all body signal. Last but not least, the one that I don't know if we all just kind of look for it or not, but disqualification. This is one that we're going to use when we disqualify a player from a game. Hope this helped you guys out. Take care.